King Janak went to the Master Ashtavakra and asked him, "O Master, how can I get detachment from this body-mind complex? How can I attain the wisdom and be free from all limitations?" To this, Astavakra said, "Muktim ichhasi chet tat vishayan vishvat tyaja shama arjav dayatosha satyam piyushvat bhaja." O child, if you really want to experience the true freedom, then recognize that your happiness is not dependent on this body-mind complex. If you really want to go beyond the bondage of this body-mind complex, then seek the nectar of truth. Seek the nectar of love and forgiveness. Seek the nectar of simplicity and contentment. So Master Ashtavakra says that to experience true freedom, or in order to experience your divine infinite nature, you should recognize that your happiness is not dependent on this body-mind complex. This is the most important thing. The reason why we remain bound to this body, the reason why the identification with the body is so strong, is because you think that your happiness depends on your body. And that is absolutely wrong. That's a grave mistake that you commit, thinking that your happiness is dependent on it. Do you experience this body in sleep? Tell me. Don't you experience happiness in sleep? If your happiness was dependent on this body, then you wouldn't feel happy in sleep at all, because this body is not there in sleep. You eat a cookie in your dream and you feel happy. Where does that happiness come from? What is the source of that happiness? Tell me. The source is the real you. The happiness that you experience after eating a dream cookie is your own happiness. It comes from the real you. But your identification with body makes you feel that the body is the cause of it. And also take the case of deep sleep experience where there is nothing, no body, no thoughts, no emotions, no world, no people, right? But you feel so happy and peaceful in deep sleep. Why? What is the cause of it? Just think deeply about it. What is the cause of peace that you experience in your deep sleep? It is nothing but the real you, that real, infinite, divine you. Then Astavakra asked his disciple to seek the nectar of truth, love, forgiveness, simplicity, and contentment. Let me tell you briefly what he really means by these words. By truth, Astavakra means the discernment between what is real and what is unreal. That which changes is unreal, and what remains unchanged is real. So everything that you see in this world, including your body, including your mind, is continuously changing. So that cannot be real. But if you look closely, you will see that there is something within you, within this body-mind complex, which doesn't change at all. In fact, it is the witness of all changes. And it's because of this witnessing consciousness, the change can be seen. Only the immutable, only the changeless can recognize the change. Without that background of changeless entity, how can the change be recognized? Tell me. And you are that immutable witnessing consciousness. Recognize it and be free. That is what Master Ashtavakra says to the disciple. Now, by love, Astavakra means that you should see yourself in the other person, because it is the same consciousness that is appearing as you and as the other person. It is like the ocean appearing as different waves. So when you see yourself in the other person, that is true love. And then alone true forgiveness is possible. If the other person has done something wrong, then true forgiveness is possible only when you see yourself in the other person. Then Master Ashtavakra talks about simplicity. Simplicity means non-judgmental attitude of mind. When you don't judge anyone, then only you are truly simple. Have a close look at your life and see how often do you judge people? How often do you judge the situations, the circumstances, the places? You don't even spare the weather. Oh, how awful the weather is. The weather is as it is. Is there any need to put the label awful to it? Will this label awful bring about any change in the weather? No, but the mind races to judge everything and everyone. So Astavakra asked his disciple to drop this judgmental attitude and become simple. Then Astavakra talks about contentment. Contentment doesn't at all mean that you stop putting in efforts in your life. That's how most of the people interpret contentment. No, that is absolutely wrong. Contentment simply means whatever happens in your life, just accept that unconditionally. And this unconditional acceptance of what is will bring about the true change in that particular situation. When something goes wrong in your life, you just get into a reactive mode, which makes the situation even worse. If you really want to change the situation, then first you need to accept it as it is. Then whatever you need to do will surely be done by you. There is no doubt about that. There's not an iota of doubt about that. So contentment simply means accepting what happens without putting any labels on it.